Cleveland media loves to lie. It's one of their favorite things that they like to do. We just seen Mary Kay Cabot get caught up in a lie, and she's culprit number one for being the biggest liar and biggest propagandist in Cleveland media. So let's start with her. She just came out recently and said that JOK might not ever play football again. JOK saw that and he posted his own rendition of what she's trying to say and it was like, hey, that's news to me. Where did you hear that from? This is what a lot of Cleveland media does. A lot of them don't really have the access that a lot of Browns fans think they have. I think a lot of Browns fans, they kind of know that they don't have the access that they claim to have. They are around the team, but they ain't around a team like that where it's like they just getting all this information that nobody else has. They're around the team, so they could put fillers and they could put pieces together. They can put something out there and see if it sticks. And if it doesn't stick, they can pivot. But if it does stick, they can keep going forward with their probing and going on with the propaganda. So that's what they're good at. Cleveland media is nothing more than propagandists. Sure, they're there for the press conferences. They're there for, stuff like that. But, they don't really get the access, like Nathan Zagoro or Anthony Siciliano gets, the people that call the game. Those are the guys that are the real insiders. And it seems to me like some national reporters, sometimes they know more information than the local media. So isn't it weird that a lot of the national media, they break the stories more so than the local Cleveland media? Now, why is that? Why do the Cleveland Browns trust the national media sources, like the Tom Pelisaros, the Albert Breers, the Pete Briscoes, people like that? Why do they trust those guys more, the Daniel Oyefusi? Why do they trust those guys more than the Cleveland local media? Well, it's pretty simple. The local media in Cleveland is just bad. They're bad. We all see this. We see that they're bad. They don't break any stories. They lie. They have to lie because they don't have any juice. Okay? So they have to put out stuff like Mary Kay Cabot did all last off season. Not the off season, like all training camp, talking about, Shedeur doesn't know the playbook. Shedeur doesn't know this. Shedeur is way behind. Shedeur is this. How many times was that propagated by all the media in Cleveland? We heard that from Mary Kay Cat. We heard that from Tony Grossi. We heard that from Jason Lloyd. We heard that from Jay Crawford. We heard this from all those guys. It's almost like they all got together in a room and it was like, hey, we need to get our talking points all together. All together, all for one, for hating on Shedeur. That's what it feels like. Now, I'm not saying they did that. That's like hyperbolic. But it feels like that could have happened. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous that national media members are able to get the juice in the scoops more so than the local people because they lie and they propagate stuff. We just saw with JOK. He's like, man, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What are y'all jokers talking about? And I think with Todd Monken and Andrew Berry, being, the two central characters with the Browns organization moving forward, I think the screws are going to be tighter. I think with Kevin Stefanski and Paul DePodesta, I feel like more stuff got leaked out than the Cleveland Browns actually like. I think Jimmy Haslam understood that. That's why he was like, hey, we cool with you, Paul DePodesta, leaving the Browns. All right, you can take Kevin Stefanski out of there with you. I think there's going to be stuff that's a lot. It's going to be a tighter run ship with the Cleveland Browns, I believe, going forward with Andrew Berry and Todd Monken. That's just my opinion and my thesis of that. But let's get back to the Cleveland media. Let's get back to them lying. You already know they lied about Shedeur the whole time. It's like they still lied on Shedeur, talking about, oh, we need to bring another quarterback in. Just because Andrew Berry said, hey, we're going to look at internal and we're going to look at external. They're running with that line. They're running with that line at full speed. They're running with that line like Usain Bolt at the Olympics when he broke multiple records. I mean, they taking that and running. I take that to mean that they're going to explore options. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do anything. I'm steadfast in believing that the quarterback room is going to be similar to what it is right now. I think they're going to trade Dylan Gabriel away. I've said that plenty of times. I think they're going to draft quarterback probably in the middle rounds, and they're going to roll with Shedeur. They're going to roll with Deshaun. I think Deshaun's going to be the backup because Deshaun's coming off two Achilles injuries. Deshaun hasn't been good since pre-COVID. Deshaun is a shell of himself. Deshaun will be great in a backup role. I just don't think Deshaun Watson at this point in his career is a starting quarterback anymore. I mean, shocker. We've seen 19 games of Deshaun Watson. We've seen 19 games of him in Cleveland. He has yet to throw a 300-yard game. We got a 300-yard game out of Shedeur in 7 starts. I'm just saying, didn't Shedeur throw for 364? We're gonna act like he didn't do what Joe Burrow did. The only 2 rookie quarterbacks in NFL history to have 350 yards passing. I don't want to shortchange Shedeur. 350 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown to boot. Deshaun ain't done anywhere near that since he's been with the Cleveland Browns. But I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden he's going to conjure up something. He's going to be what he was 7 years ago. That don't even make any sense. That don't make any logical sense. But, Cleveland media, they got to perpetuate that anyone but Shedeur narrative. They got to spin the narrative. They got to lie going forward. And we all see it, man. It's just getting a little bit redundant that Cleveland media, they just feel the need to put out lies and all of this propaganda. And, I'm glad people are finally starting to, buck back against the Cleveland media trends and buck back against them being purposely obtuse and dense. A phrase KSK Sports has termed, and I will use religiously when I want to, because they are purposely obtuse and dense. Because they have been lying on Shedeur this whole time. And when Shedeur, he had the good game, they gave all the credit to Kevin Stefanski. Like, what? Kevin Stefanski is the same coach that didn't even want Shedeur out there. Kevin Stefanski wanted Shedeur to have a red shirt year. Now you're giving him all the credit for not playing him, and then he looks like he should have been a starter the entire season, so we're going to give him credit and not Shedeur credit for putting in extra work at Baldwin Wallace when Kevin Stefanski didn't even want to touch him, and that it was mandated from way up top that they play Shedeur so we can see what he looks like. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing, Cleveland media? We got to get through the combine. We got to get through free agency. We got to get through the NFL draft. I mean, it's going to be a wild next 3 months. It's going to be a lot of lies. It's going to be a lot of propaganda. But at the end of it, Shedeur is going to come into training camp as a QB1. I just really believe that, because I don't think the Cleveland Browns are going to go out and get a quarterback. Like, are you going to go to the bottom of the barrel to get a maybe starter, maybe backup? Malik Willis hasn't done anything in his career that screams he should be your long-term starter. I don't even know why Cleveland media is trying to kick the tires on somebody that's been in the league 4 years and only has 6 starts. Y'all want to get that guy $35 million with the current situation we have with Deshaun Watson? Doesn't make any sense to me. So that's why I say the media is purposely obtuse and dense. They didn't want to kick the tires on that. They quickly moved off Kirk Cousins. Now, Malik Willis is a hot name. Ty Simpson is going to be a name that's thrown out there. I don't think Ty Simpson should be on anybody's board in the first round. I just don't think he's a first-round prospect. Just based on the biggest games he played. His numbers didn't impress me. He looked good for a little bit of the season. There needs to be questions about consistency. Like, bro, if you look good for 6 weeks and then you don't look good for 5 or 6 games after that, I mean, we question Shedeur's consistency. How come we can't question Ty Simpson's consistency when he looked one way at the beginning of the season and then looked like a shell of himself at the end of the year? We need to question his consistency. We're going to question Shedeur's consistency. I'm just saying, Cleveland media, do a little bit of y'all don't have any issues slinging arrows at Shedeur. But when it comes to everybody else, they just point their glowing attributes. Oh, this person, he can come in, he can work with Todd Monken's offense. It's like, okay, so why can't Shedeur do that? I just don't understand this disdain for Shedeur and its adoration in Cleveland media for everybody that's not named Shedeur. It's just weird. The lies and propaganda is just too much. It's just too much. And we're just going to get more of it. We're going to get more of it shoved in our face, and I'm just tired of it. All right, KSK Sports, rolling out. I'm definitely going to bring out some more content about my opinions on Cleveland media, Shedeur, and just the Cleveland Browns in general. But that's all I have on this one. Like and subscribe. KSK Sports rolling out. Peace.